Hallelujah.
Amen. This is bad. This is so bad. But that was our life.
I thought this video was gonna be short.
This is gonna be interesting.
Molweni Molweni. Molweni guys, and welcome to another Mahlamajola video. As you can tell, I have not done myself.
No, not anymore.
I'm way too excited. Maybe introduce yourself.
Wow. Hi guys, my name is Jess. And I am a friend of Mashe.
Yeah. So, quick background. When I left Shinchoenji, Jess was the first person I reached out to because I saw her YouTube video. And I was just like, it's a funny story. But at the time, you were in the UK, so this is the first time we actually meet in person.
Yeah, so I actually landed in South Africa yesterday in Johannesburg. And I've known Mashe for virtually on Instagram for the last... It's been a couple of months.
Yeah.
It's been some time. So yeah, this is the first time we're actually meeting in person. But this whole time I'm thinking, I feel like I've known you for years.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a first time.
It really doesn't feel like the first time.
So Mashe reached out to me from my YouTube video that I made about Shinchoenji. And she just told me her story. And to be honest, guys,
I was a mess.
Telling you, I am so proud of her for putting out her first video. Like, I feel like I've seen her from the whole process. From the day you left to the person you are now. I was like, to God be the glory, honestly. And the fact that we're sitting here together, telling our story, and just creating more awareness of this. Because
I think that's the most important thing for me, is just people are aware.
Yeah.
I think there was this girl, she went through like her indoctrination phase, and then she didn't know that it was ever like she changed her account until she saw my video, and she's like, I was in.
And I think especially in South Africa, internationally, South Africa has the biggest base. Outside of Korea.
Yeah.
It's full. So us as South Africans, we need to band together.
You were even saying that sometimes you guys watched our services.
Yes, we watched your services every Sunday. Because outside of Korea, you guys are the biggest. So we watched your services every Sunday. Cape Town.
Yeah.
Philip Tribe.
Yes. What tribe were you in?
Philip.
Really?
So South Africa, the UK, was it Switzerland?
Yeah.
Philip Tribe, and also other places in the UK, so like Ireland.
They're all part of Philip Tribe.
Yeah.
People who don't know what that is, and this is guys.
Us isn't getting the tribes because it's deep. It's deep within the Shinchoenji indoctrination.
Yeah.
So us isn't getting.
Alright, so I drafted a few questions, and some questions that people have always just like asked and have been curious about. So some are funny, some are not, some are a bit serious. And but just so people know a bit more about Shinchoenji. Because sometimes when you hear the word cult, it's not what we think it is actually. Because guys, when you were there.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
We really felt like we had the truth.
Bruh.
Guys, if we laugh, we will cry. So I'm so glad that we're making more light-hearted videos now. Because it's been actually a very serious thing.
Yeah. And for me, I think the minute after I told my family, then I told, I think my cousin, and I wasn't crying. That was the first time I wasn't crying about it. And then I did that flavor afterwards. Also, your video on Instagram, just like, I remember when.
I remember when I lost my mind. Because we really lost our mind share. You can't cherry pick. We lost our minds like head gun. head lost.
Okay, let's get into these questions.
Yes.
I'll answer, and then you can also answer. No, maybe you should start answering. 'Cause I feel
Okay,
like-
maybe we'll take it in turns. You
Yeah,
answer and
okay.
then I answer. Cheers. It's not liquor.
Yours looks like liquor. It does.
What did you give me? Grape tiger.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's lovely.
You're actually having like white grape, and I'm having like
Red grape. Yeah.
Okay, question 1. Do you miss them? Truthfully,
Okay, I'm going to answer
truthfully.
this question very truthfully. So, in terms of my experience in Manchester,
Yeah.
I met some really, really great people.
Yeah.
And do I miss them? Yes, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
But in terms of, I had to do what was best for me at the time and for my best interest. So, in terms of the way that I left, I just did it cold turkey.
At what point now you even change your Wi-Fi? You change
Everything.
your Netflix
Phone number,
password?
Netflix, Yonkindo. I made sure that there was no contact. But to be real, I really, really do miss those people. But we weren't the same person anymore because we didn't have those same beliefs. And
do you think you guys would have been friends outside of Shinchoenji?
it would have been hard to.
No.
Because it reminds you of that experience, and those people's mentalities are still there.
No, I mean, if you guys were never at Shinchoenji,
Of course.
you think you would like be friends with them?
Yeah. I made some deep friendships because you're with these people every single day. Morning till night time, you have deep conversations and I do. What about yourself?
I do. I miss some of them, and I think to some degree, like I don't miss the leaders because I just feel like I still feel betrayed because I'm just like I shared so much of myself. I said so much about like my family and whatnot. So I miss the people I went to class with.
Yeah,
those are the people I miss because I just feel like we're on the same boat.
Yeah, I understand you on that one. In terms of leaders for me, there is this one particular leader that I do miss. This guy, he's the one that recruited me. Like, he is such a great person. And I remember after I left, he sent me like a really heartfelt email, and he was like, let's just put our faith aside, which is such a big thing for someone from Shinchoenji to say. He was like, faith aside, let's just talk as people. But at that time, I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, no, I'm being ourselves ashamed.
Like, I could not bring myself to do it.
I think everything, like I had those conversations because I didn't leave just like once. Like I was like excluded from the group because I was asking questions and stuff like that. So I left kind of like maybe 2-3 times where I was just like out of attending service and whatnot, then people would come and try and all of that. So okay, question 2, do you have things that trigger you from Shinchoenji?
You answer this one first.
Like if somebody says like some words, like if somebody uses the words like overcome,
you just hit the nail on the head.
If you use the words like overcome, there's just certain words that they used, man. I do have trigger words. I have trigger words, but I actually don't hear them often. So when I do hear them, then I'm just like,
it's kind of like crazy.
Yeah. Do you have
I'm
trigger
trying to think, do I have triggers? I think it's similar to you in terms of like the words.
Yeah.
Like, obviously we're still around Christians, we're still Christians, and even like people without realizing it will sort of say things that are similar to what we had been doing. And it really triggers me when people fail to understand my experience. Yeah. If people take it, I don't know, too as a joke. Downplay it. Yeah. It's not something to be downplayed.
It really isn't.
But yeah, nothing specific that I can think of, but there will always be those things here and there. Yeah. Or like when you see your old books and stuff, I still have them.
Why, Jess?
I had this folder.
Why do you still have the box?
And I'm a sentimental person.
Whether
good or bad, I keep things. So I have like when I used to like learn to teach BB,
Yeah.
and when I had students, I still have like the timelines they used to draw. I still have like all of my lesson reviews and things like that. But at the same time, I also do have them for like comparing study purposes.
Yes.
Just like
okay.
she doesn't understand, but I'm sure some people can relate that they still have this.
Yeah, some people will relate.
Because girl, that was blood, sweat, and tears. I worked.
Ufundile.
So
It was study time.
So let me keep them because I put energy, I put effort into those.
Yeah, no, okay.
So
I get you.
But sometimes it's triggering. So
yeah, I think when I
It's
go
a
back
balance.
to Cape Town and I see certain places, I'll be triggered. Places will definitely trigger me.
I did go when I was in London. I still went back to Manchester like a few times.
Yeah.
And just like walking in the same areas, we used to evangelize because EV was every day.
Guys.
Your feet would be burning.
Evangelizing.
Yeah.
Must move it. Okay.
Let's go on to the next question.
Okay, what songs did they sing? Do you remember the songs?
Oh, the awesome kingdom gods, kingdom.
Oh my god.
Oh, the awesome. We still remember.
I liked this is not actually a Shinchoenji song, it's like a hymn.
Yeah, they sang a lot of hymns. It was hymns, yeah.
He abides, hallelujah, he abides with me.
Yes, I remember that. And the Gamsahe. I loved the Gamsahe.
Remember I told you the other night, I was just like, I was thinking of the Gamsahe.
Yeah, so those are the kind of songs that they sang. But there was a lot of, we actually learned Korean. Do you know what? Like, this girl knows the word for word still. I used to, but I've forgotten some of it.
I still know most of it. I know the like Shinchoenji anthem.
Oh my gosh, how does it go again?
I
think I still remember it a bit.
it was in my head the other day and I sang it, then I stopped myself.
But they sang a lot of like old school hymns, but in their own way.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind, guys, we were sitting on the floor, so we used to do all of this, like clapping stuff.
You sway. And then
there'll be, like,
hallelujah!
Amen! This is bad! This is so bad! But that was our life.
I thought this video was giving me shots.
This is gonna be interesting.
Yes. Okay, let's move. Do you think the people in Shinchoenji know that they're a cult?
No.
I think it's because their teaching is just like people originally called Jesus a cult. So
Yeah.
when you say we're a cult, we're not really offended.
Yeah.
Because now everybody knows who Jesus is and, you know, Christianity as a whole. So I don't...
I'm saying no because
it
I
offends
didn't know. I didn't know I was in a cult
Yeah.
until obviously I saw outside coverage describing Shinchoenji as a cult,
Yeah.
and I'm someone who always asks why. So I was like, why is that the case? Let me go find out my own information.
Yeah.
And this is something I always say to people that I heard from Steve Hassan in one of his books that I read, is that people inside a cult know the least about it compared to people outside because of the information control.
Exactly.
The information that comes in and out is filtered.
Yeah.
So you won't know you're in a cult because those people, they won't tell you what. But
Exactly.
But then again, they do play reverse psychology, and they say, oh, in like the when you're still being indoctrinated and introduced, they'll be like, oh, you might hear people saying, oh, wow, you're going to a Bible study, this might be a cult. And you're thinking, oh, like, nah, that's too far-fetched.
To us, I don't feel like they minimized it. They told
Yeah.
us straight, but people some people think we're a cult, but why would people think we're a cult? Because, like Jesus, Jesus had followers, had disciples and whatnot. So when you look at it, we do kind of tick the box, but are we really a cult? This is how we are not. What are cults? What are we? That's what they did. They weren't to us. They weren't like, no, that's not who we are. They were very like, people will say that.
They were like kind of getting people ready for that moment to find out.
Yes.
That's deep. So deep.
How did your family take the news? I'll start because I told my family 4 months ago.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't think I was like scared to tell them.
Yeah.
Well, I remember even the day before. Remember when I
remember
sent
you told me.
Yes.
You were very hesitant.
I was very hesitant because I was still like blaming myself quite a lot. Because I wasn't seeing it as something that has happened to me.
Yeah.
I was seeing it as my negligence. Become spiritually in tuned or whatever you want to call it.
It can happen to anyone, unfortunately.
That's the thing. I was just like, how is this happening to me?
Yeah.
Excuse me. I was just like, no. Like, I was really blaming myself for a very long time. So I didn't want other people blaming me. No. I'm already doing that.
Yeah.
So it took me a very long time to tell my family.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was going to move here, I was going to tell them. And then that night, I just couldn't. I just choked.
Yeah.
I
remember you were like, Jess, I did not do it. I just did not. But you have to be patient with yourself. I think that's what's important. You can't just, Yeah,
you definitely have
But the time that you actually did tell them, how was it?
When I did tell them, obviously my parents are pastors, so they were very like emotional about it. I think my dad wanted to cry.
Wow.
I don't think it's because they were just like hurt as parents that they were not able to spot this.
Yeah.
You know? And I wasn't staying at my house.
But we're far away from them, right?
So I was just visiting them. So and also, it also goes with my friends as well. Some of them, when I posted the video, are just like, why didn't you tell me? I'm so sorry I wasn't there for you. I'm just like, I saw you, and I still didn't tell you. Even if you had asked me straight up, I would still have lied to you. So, well, it's not anybody's fault or anything like that. But my parents are very supportive. My mom was just like telling me things like, nothing that is good, that is of God, should be secret and stuff like that. So that is very comforting.
It's true.
And they keep on like checking in and stuff like that.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So in the UK, it's just my mum and I. The rest of our family's here. So I remember I messaged my mum the morning that I was coming. I was like, Mum, I'm on my way home. Bearing in mind I'm in Manchester, my mum's in London. I was like, Mum, I'm on my way home. And she was like, is everything okay? Like, why are you coming home? Usually you tell me, and I was like, I'll explain everything when I get home. I just need to get home. I get home and I was asleep. My mum usually doesn't wake me up when I'm asleep. She just came straight to my room. She knocked and she's like, what's going on? So we went downstairs and I just blurted it all out. I just told her everything. And my mom's also an elder at the church. To my shock, she took it very well. Yeah. And I think she took it very well because she said to me that people at church were like asking about me and they were just like, just pray for her. Yes. Oh, wow. Like my auntie was having dreams about me and things like that. Like they're really like in touch with God like that. Yeah. So she was like, I'm not surprised, but I didn't want to pester you about it because she knew I'd get defensive. And that's something that would have happened, right? So I think she was just at peace that I was at home. Yeah. And that I was okay. Even though obviously I wasn't technically okay, but the fact that you were telling her and I came back and it was a big thing for her. So she was so supportive and she's continued to be, because all we have is each other out there, you know? Like we're family.
This is
So
true.
she was so supportive, and she's just been with me throughout the whole process. So
That's so
my
sweet.
family reacted well. Yeah,
Yeah, mine too. I'm happy about that.
and
Because
that's all you want. Really,
yeah, if they had like reacted some type of way, guys, it would have been.
It would have made the situation even worse, right?
Yeah, it would have been horrible.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna cut it short.
Yeah.
Short.
Yeah.
Yo, this is 20 minutes. Okay, that's long. What do you believe in now?
I still believe in my Christ.
Mm-hmm.
I still believe in God. And let me tell you why. I've met a lot of people from this experience that have gone away from the faith.
Right? And that's so sad.
And it's
for me.
really sad. But if
you can't blame someone.
If we're being blatantly honest, there were times where I was like, where I just wanted to be like, I don't know what I believe anymore, I just want to throw it all out the window. But that would have been the easy option, right?
Wait, not babes, there were times you were thinking that I was out. I was just like, Jonga, God, sharp, digile, the grand. Yes, the grand,
Do you know what brought me around? I was like, that's what Satan would want.
He will be so happy.
He would have been like, play, it's over. She's gone.
Yeah.
She's no longer part of God's kingdom.
I've achieved exactly what I wanted to do.
And it would have been an easy way out, right?
Yeah.
But in life, that's not how it works, unfortunately.
Yeah,
So,
I think somebody said something like, rebellion is not freedom. Because you'd be rebelling against God. Because you're just like, Jonga, undi and then that's not true freedom. You're not choosing to stay because of like your own thinking and your own decision making. You're choosing to stay or to leave based on like the hurt, not necessarily the reason.
But we've had to have God work in our hearts and continue to work. Like it's a journey coming back to true faith.
Yeah.
It's one that you just have to take a day at a time.
Yeah, no. I think my last
even returning to church for us was a big deal.
Hey!
You went before me.
I went before you, but you were reading the Bible before me. Like, that's the thing. Everybody's journey is different.
Yes.
Because you were trying to find counter scriptures to what they were teaching you.
Yes. And I was just in my word.
Yeah. And I wasn't trying to do that. Like, I just got myself a new Bible now because a friend recommended, like, get a new Bible with scriptures that are not highlighted from classes and service and whatnot. So I've just done that now. Hopefully that will help. But still opening my Bible for me is just like, So I'm hoping this new one will be like a new fresh start and stuff like that.
Yeah, it will. It will. Yeah.
Okay, 2 more. I promise. How will you deal with bumping into people you know from the cult in the future?
I've not bumped into them.
No.
Because I moved out of the area because I could not deal with that. What about yourself?
I have not bumped into anyone.
But I guess this person wants to know how would we deal with we did.
I did. No, I did.
What happened?
I just said hi. And then he said hi. And then that was it. He passed and I passed. For some weird reason, I think he left. I really think he left because he was acting awkward around me because now we're all online. So I think he left.
And he doesn't know that
He doesn't know that I've left.
That's
so
funny.
He was acting awkward as if like,
really funny.
I hope I'm not losing anything about SEJ or anything like that. And I'm thinking the same thing.
You're thinking, you're both on the
do not ask me anything.
You're both on the same page.
Yeah, and he was on a date.
Oh, so he probably has left because you can't do that with Shinchoenji. What do you mean you're going on a date?
He was on a date and they were like holding hands
you can't write I'm going on a date on your dating schedule.
You cannot.
You can't.
So I think I'll be friendly and cordial. Like now people have reached out after the video. I'm not in a place to tell you to leave or to stay. Like you need to make up your own decisions. And
I'm telling you to go.
I feel like, you know why I'm scared of telling people to go? I tell them I'm leaving and I would suggest that you leave too. But I don't force it upon them or
I get what you mean.
Because it's hard when you leave.
It is.
Like you need to be so solid in your leaving that you can actually go through like the journey of leaving. So I'm a bit scared of being like, next thing we are going and we will
go for sure.
Yeah. But I think I'd act like normal. Hi, and then that's it.
I think I'd be the same, to be honest. I think at this stage where I'm at now, I would be. But I feel like the Jess a couple months ago would have probably just avoided them.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, probably would have just walked the opposite direction.
Question: how to safely save a loved one or a friend, you suspect may be in a cult or a toxic church?
Wow, what a question. To be fair, I've had this one
a
lot before. I personally, my first thing is always to get your information from a professional person, because there are professional cult counselors and stuff. There are people that do this as their job to get people out. And just get as much information as you can on what sort of cult they're in and how that person would respond to your intervention, because I spoke to some people quite a while ago. I've actually spoke to a lot of people that have had interventions with their family members, and some it's gone well, like they've actually sat down and said, look, listen, we know what's going on. They've just confronted you with the truth. In some cases gone well as in, okay, this person has realized that there is something. I think if someone did that to me, it would have helped me.
Really?
If someone sat me down and said, okay, we understand what's going on, you don't have to keep it a secret anymore. But on the opposite effect, where I've met some people who their families have intervened, they've felt attacked, they've felt that they've been judged, and I think it comes down to the style of how it's done. So I don't think it's a bad thing to like sit down with them and explain your side of your story, but there's just a way to do it so that you don't cause any more pain to what that person is already feeling, because being in a cult, like she said, toxic churches, that person can become very defensive. But just get as much knowledge as you can into what sort of cult they're into, and if you feel like you can intervene, then do so and sort of see. It also depends on the relationship you have with that person. If it's a close relationship, it's worth intervening.
I think for me it's research. Like you say, people in cults don't know what's happening in their own
the information
cult.
coherently.
Get your facts, a lawyer, and be here. Do your research, because that's what you do when you leave a cult. You do research and then you find out the truth, then you are sure about your leaving. So the minute if there's a family member that's going through something like that, I would do my research and then bring the facts in front of that person and let them choose what they want to do with it. But don't bring doesn't give them the facts.
Create open communication, you know? Like allow the space for that person to be able to talk as well as you talking. But
I think that's it.
Pray, like
guys, please pray for us even now.
Please,
but this is there are days.
There are days.
So keep us in your prayers. Sorry, I just got a trigger right now. I'm just thinking about some of the triggers. Like this other girl was just like, oh, we had a conversation on Instagram. She's like, I saw your video and then I'm so used to calling him Chonga Jinim. Like those.
You know, I couldn't even say the word cult when I came out.
Really?
It took me a while. I couldn't even say the word because I was like, nah, it can't be true.
Can't be. If you hear us like saying Korean terms.
Chonga Janim, Gyok Janim.
Dani Gansanim, Imonim, Annyeonghaseyo.
Oh my god, we went through the most.
Probably why we like Korean dramas.
I love K-drama.
Love K-dramas so much.
They're so good. These people can act.
They're so long. Okay, moving on. But yeah, obviously Shinchoenji like originated in Korea, so they keep quite a lot of like Korean traditions and culture and stuff like that, like bowing, sitting on the floor,
greetings,
greetings and like thanking people in Korean. Hey, at some point it bothered me, and then like and I was just like, why? We are not in Korea though. No. Like I understand what we do, but like we're not in Korea. I don't know how they convinced me out of that one. We always find out him. Anyway, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you for having me.
No, thank you.
Oh, this is exciting.
Thank you. Please check out her YouTube channel.
Yes, check out my YouTube channel, Jess Xentsa, Xentsa. Follow me on Instagram.
Yeah, same. Copy and paste.
Like same. You got right here. Jess Xentsa.
Okay. Yeah. Please follow Jess and like, subscribe, and share this. I think the most important thing of like sharing Shinchoenji information is so that people are aware of what's going on. If I'd seen this video before joining, it would have made such a huge difference. A huge difference. So please share as much as you can. But other than that, bye.